Everybody, and welcome back. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Woo! Markets are volatile, and it's on the downside. Let's have to say it. So we're going to talk about that as well. Don't forget, if you're new to the Kryptonite Show, don't forget subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. We're streaming over 3 YouTube channels, over 10,500 subscribers. So a big thank you to everybody for support. And if you love crypto, if you love politics, economics, and many other cool topics, then definitely follow as well. Now, the link to our Discord is in the video description. Join up today. And of course, become a community member. We've got a great community in there. If you love a safe environment to do crypto and talk about politics and other stuff, it's a great place to be. And of course, if you want to have a fun there, talking about sports, whatever it is, get in there as well. And if you want to join our strategy club, it's only $35 a month. Join up today as well. And we also have a special one-on-one deal with me if you wanted to set that up as well. So check that offer too. So let's get into it without further ado. Let's get in and talk about what's going on with the markets. So let's get into it. So very red, unfortunately. Now, as you guys know, typically Sunday in the US, which it is now, is typically a very slow day. Today, of course, it's a bit of a sell-off before the week starts. Just the way it goes, isn't it? We got Bitcoin there at $80,787, down 6.5% today. That cruel red Sunday. It's supposed to be bloody Monday, is it? But it's red Sunday. And we're at Bitcoin dominance at 59.2%. So still holding up pretty strong as the Bitcoin dominance. In terms of Ethereum, we've got Ethereum at down 8.5%. So Ethereum really getting hit hard. It is actually broken down from my support line at 2150. I think it was at 2200 yesterday, and broke my 2150, and is now testing the 2000 mark, down at 8.6%. So a lot of people will be hoping that it holds on to the 2000, because it can't be too good if it goes below, is it? Can't be too good. Now we've got BNB is down 6.6% at $556. Solana down 7.3% at $127. ADA down a massive 11% at 71, almost 72 cents there. XRP down 8.4%, $2.14. Tron there down 4.4% at 23 cents. And ADA there is, we talked about ADA, Litecoin down 8.2% at $94.59. And SU there down 7.5%, almost $2.30. So pretty red Sunday, pretty bad Sunday there. And of course, we're going to talk about the price calls that people have been talking about for these. So let's get into that. Let's go zoom in into Bitcoin. So you can see a big red candle there today. As you guys know, 20, 30 days of the year is where you make and lose money at the same time on crypto in particular. And here we are breaking down to $80,000 on the old Bitcoin there. Now, as you guys know, my support level here is at 72,400. That's where we had a lot of resistance in the chart there. You can see that pretty self-evident on the horizontal. But of course, there's a lot of analysis of us heading down further, down to either 66,000, which is down here, or even lower down into the low 60s there as well. So depending on whose modeling you're looking at, that's where we could be going. Now we are coming up, obviously closing up into a death cross if we keep going this way. We got the turn of day, which we were holding yesterday, which was, everyone was hoping for that, but of course the market makers trying to send it down here on the volatility, particularly around tariffs and other things that are going on. And why not use a lazy Sunday for that? So we're at 80. The turn of day is at 85,777. The 50 day, which is the yellow line, is up at 93,120. And of course, that's starting to converge now. If it crosses over the blue line, of course, that would be a death cross. And that would definitely send us down, and we could quite easily get back down into the 60s there if that does occur. But like I say, at the moment, we've got probably the best support on the horizontal is at 72,700 or 72,500, let's say. That is probably the best horizontal support line there. So we'll see where we head there. Now, we've got some comments in the chat before we get into some more commentary. Let's see who's in the house there. We've got Larry in the house there. Hey, good to see you, Larry. Welcome. And we got mixed in the camp there, 63K. Yeah, that number's definitely floating around. Some modeling there, so good call there, mix. And that would bring us down to this level here, which would be right in the middle of this volatility that we've got here, the zigzagging. That would bring us into 63, would bring us right down here. Might as well put a little line on that. And that would take us down to about there. So that would be the next line. And there are some modeling around that. I know Tom Lee's analyst has got it down there at this level, so that would be quite an aggressive. That would take us back to the middle of this volatility, and of course the top of that is what I've got here at 72,500. So that's kind of where we are at the moment. Let's put a little 72 5K, and we put another box here as well. That would put us at let's say 63K. So those are definitely some midpoints. There would be the 63K in my opinion, and the top of the range there, 72.5, which was previous resistance and was what we broke out of back here in the 6th of November, right, when we had a big rally up to 108K. So let's see where we go at the moment. 80K. Fingers crossed there. Fingers crossed. That's all we can say. We got Brian in the house. Good to see you, Brian. Welcome. And we've also got Hexcavator as well. Hey, gang. Good to see Hexcavator. And of course, Wookie as well has made it. Good to see you, Wookie. Hopefully, I'm not clicking through these too fast. Got the animations to come up, right? Animations. Mix is the short. You mean the big short? It looks like the big short. Looks like the big squeeze on. That's for sure. We've got Property View in the house there. Great stream. I appreciate that, Property View. Big shout out to you. Nice to see you in the house there. And Mixed is pretty excited about the sell-off there. Pretty excited about the sell-off. Not bad. And Mix says 63K is his as well. Yeah, that's Tom Lee's analyst. Mix says you should probably get in his team now. Mix, that's where he's expecting to head to. So we'll keep those targets. That's where we are at the moment. And of course, we were hoping that this would be the bear trap here, right? This thing here would be the bear trap. That was at the beginning of January, end of December, Christmas time, bear trap. But unfortunately, we have broken down. Obviously, Trump shaking things up a bit as well as he's really setting things up. So, just the way it goes. We've got Steve Wright, Santa Barbara in house there. It's always good to hear you Sunday in the United States. I appreciate that, Steve. Big shout out to you. Well, for you Americans, it's still Sunday, I should say, as well. So not bad. In fact, what time is it? It's 10 past 4 in the afternoon on Sunday in Los Angeles, and what's 10 past 7 in the evening in New York. There we go. So it's east and west coast, isn't it? So not bad, or west and east coast, depending on which way you're saying it. Not bad. All right, so that's where we are on the Bitcoin. So fingers crossed. I mean, we did get the spike down right back on the 28th of February. That will get down to 78, and we often tend to follow those down for some reason. But that's what happens. And here we are, 80,400. Let's see where we head for the week ahead, eh? All right, so that is the Bitcoin. But the Bitcoin returns, we were positive green. Remember, we were positive green about 2 to 6%. And we're now down 2.63%. So our moving into altcoin season is not playing out. Trump is trying to do fix up a lot of problems, but while he's doing that, he creates a lot of volatility, and the crypto market's definitely not picking up on that. Plus the fact that the best buying outcomes at this stage are budget neutral ones from the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, and so the market's sort of wait. What does that mean? And so you have to wait and see rather than some active buying in the market there. So that's kind of where we are at the moment on that. Obviously, the altcoin stockpile, that's also uncertain. They haven't even done the audit, so they've got to do the audit. And as we know, the government's got probably about 207,000 Bitcoin, but it needs to be audited to prove that up. So we'll see where all that lies. But the positives, of course, we're going to talk about that as well. Because how Bitcoin will reach $1 million is the title of the video, and what you must know in 2025. We're going to talk about that. So we're obviously expecting some pretty good prices. I've talked about that in yesterday's video. The top 5 predictions, which is are typically 150 to 180 or 200 or 250,000. That's pretty common, even with the upside at $500,000. And as you guys know, we got a little bit of a bit of math, because if we've got gold, if Bitcoin's going to be the digital gold, then we could get convergence towards the gold market cap, right? Now, obviously, that might mean gold is a lot bigger by the time we get there, but gold's at about $19.5 trillion at the moment. I think the market cap of Bitcoin is about 1.6, 1.7. So if you just divide 19.5 trillion of gold divided by 1.7, let's say, of Bitcoin, that's 11.5x, right? So 11.5x times 80K, which is where we are at the moment, that would give us $917 million. So that's close enough to $1 million Bitcoin. Now, when we might hit that, could be 2026, quite reasonable. If we're going to be hitting, $250,000 this year, that's later in the year, obviously not today because we've got this down chart at the moment. But if we hit $250,000 by the end of the year, then that could be huge, right? We may even do better than that this year. I mean, it's definitely plausible. But let's say 150 to 250 this year. That would be a minimum 3x, and I think that's pretty reasonable compared to the last bull market cycle we had back in 21. So yeah, that seems reasonable. And then maybe 26, we start heading towards this bigger number. If we get the 250, that gets to the 750, and why not overshoot if everybody's on the playing field now? We've got governments and states and within the United States, and then we've got institutions and retail buying. So everybody's in. Public and private companies could be pretty exciting, right? So that is quite reasonable. We could get to that 900,000 to $1 million just through convergence to gold market cap, because now Bitcoin is being considered the digital gold, right? I mean, now we've got Trump's strategic Bitcoin reserve. We've got BlackRock talking about it as digital gold. The tone has really changed, and now we've got states in America scrambling. There's at least 12 or so states scrambling to get their to change their rules so they can buy up crypto, right? And so that's huge for us at the moment. So anyway, we're down 2.63% for March. We've got a long way to go in March, of course. So we've still got about 3 weeks. So we'll see where we end up in March. I'm still expecting the second half of March, and I think Brennan, our TA guru, is also expecting the second half of March to do pretty well also. So nothing wrong there. Now, okay, we talked about 900,000 to $1 million, but how do we get there? Well, we get there because of things like the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve encouraging other players like the states in the United States, 50 states in the United States, of course, and just 5 to 10% of their allocation, portfolio allocation, could get a 242,000 Bitcoin buy. And at the moment, with the price going down, that's even higher. It's probably 280,000 Bitcoin buys just from the United States of America. So that is extremely exciting. And we did cover that a little bit in yesterday's video. And then, of course, we've got public and private companies all starting to get on. You got your 401ks and everything else directed 401ks straight into Bitcoin, things like that. So it's all starting to pile on. So and then, of course, you're going to get all the retail book. You're going to get and then all the other sovereign states around the world buying Bitcoin, right? So it could be pretty massive, that flow, and that's how you get to these big valuations of $1 million as well. So that's kind of the stuff that's going to be pushing us forward in 2025, 2026. And you got to be pretty excited. Now, after obviously this volatility that Trump's reorganizing the world order, and then you're going to start to get the fruits of that, particularly in the second half of 2025, 2026. So things are going to start, really rallying, particularly if the US gets to 3% GDP growth and all that sort of stuff. So pretty cool. So anyway, we're down 2.63% in the short term. So that's just the way it goes. And of course, how many shorts at the moment? Well, in the last 24 hours, $581 million has been wrecked in the last 24 hours. $500 million wrecked there in the old positions that people have taken out in perpetuals. So long positions have been 523 million. That's how much been wrecked there, and short positions got wrecked was $59 million. So there's a lot of wreckage going on in the crypto, and the biggest one being Bitcoin USD Tether of 32 million. That was the biggest one there on Binance. That was the largest single order that happened on Binance there. $32 million. Hashtag wrecked. That's not a great day in the office there. So that is some of the carnage there, some of the opportunities about how Bitcoin can reach $1 million. And that's definitely what you should know, is that, we've got short-term short-term red at the moment, but actually the long-term view is outstanding for crypto and Bitcoin in particular there. So pretty cool. Ethereum at the moment also bleeding out. Now, we've already been in a death cross for Ethereum since the 13th of February, and we're playing out pretty much. We are down at 2,000. We actually spiked to 1,988 on Coinbase today, and we're currently at 2,029. Now, obviously, the close is really what matters there. So closing over 2,000 pretty important here at the moment. So that is where we are. And I guess the next level is of support is around this $1,950, the 2,000. After that, I mean, you're talking about probably 1,740, and then you're talking about maybe $1,500. So that's kind of where we are there at the moment. All right, so that is Ethereum. Now we're going to get into Pulse Chain. Before we do that, though, let's catch up in the chat there because there's quite a few comments. Big shout out to everybody in the chat there. We got here Mondays make the best Sundays, says Mix. It does. It's very confusing when you're in New Zealand or places like that because we're at the front of the timeline, right? So it's pretty crazy. So it's Monday here. It's Monday. What time is it? It's 18 minutes past 12 on Monday, the 10th of March. And of course, you guys are still on Sunday, the 9th of March. There we go. Mix says it's true 100%. It is. All right, so we got Trent in the house too for the United States. Hey, good to see you, Trent. Hey, welcome. Doing a great job over there in the USA. USA. Did you see that in the in Trump's speech the other day in the House where the Republicans all got up in unison and shouted USA. Man, I think they've really got some sense of unity there. There's always a few troublemakers, but actually they're looking pretty unified, aren't they? They control all three houses pretty much. And I think when they get to the Senate elections in what was that, about 20 months' time or something, that they're going to probably increase their lead in the Senate. Definitely looking good for that. It might be pretty fun to see that opening up that lead would be pretty good. Hopefully they'll be able to put more of the laws in permanency. They need 60 votes, right? 60 votes. So that would be pretty cool. All right, without further ado, let's get into Pulse Chain. And Pulse Chain here at the moment is sitting. Actually, I thought I'd have some from Richard Hart, but it's not showing up, so I'll just leave that there. That's what happens when your X account gets suspended. Now, I have got a new X account that I've opened up for the Kryptonite show, and so I have got that set up now. So that's pretty cool. If you want to check it out, it's at Kryptonite Show on X, and I will post that in the future. But check that out at Kryptonite Show X on X there. So there's no though. There's no just Kryptonite Show. So you can follow me over there. Be the first one because no one knows about it. I just told everyone now. So if you want to be first, at Kryptonite Show on X, you'll see 3 posts on there so far. Probably says, what's your view on ETH's worth? Will there be sustained interest in ETH going forward? 100%, because what we see is World Liberty, which is related to the Trump family. They have been accumulating Ethereum there, and they've got big plans for crypto moving forward. So 100%. In fact, World Liberty was the best, second best category behind mobile for performance in the last week, and they also that is largely driven by one particular project in their portfolio. But it's probably going to do pretty well. It was a movement token. I think a movement token was the one that did pretty well. I think it's a blockchain as well. Particularly favors developers, fast-moving developers and stuff like that. All right, so yeah, cool. Compared to Bitcoin being so accepted, well, Bitcoin's a digital gold, so it's kind of its own class by itself. It doesn't mean that a market cap can't overtake Bitcoin, but it would have to have a pretty good. Ethereum probably would have been the most likely one to do it at this stage, but you never know. Maybe Pulse Chain is the one that does that in the future. Richard's got a lot of tricks up his sleeves, right? A lot of tricks up his sleeve, so you just never know. Now, I would say getting institutional sovereign state investment is pretty key. So, show me the money. It really will drive the values of blockchain. But no, Ethereum's still looking pretty good there. And maybe Pulse Chain gives some more opportunity for Pulse Chain to flip Ethereum. Yeah, it's definitely possible. Rich got a lot of tricks there. Now, sustaining that is another question. Sustaining it is another question, but we'll see. We'll see what the Richard Hart genius comes up with. All right, so let's get into the results and let's find out where we are. So we're Pulse Chain day 667. We're at quadruple 0352 at the moment, down 4.6%. So not too much down on the old Pulse Chain today, really, for Pulse. PulseX is at quadruple 0326. That is down 7.6% at the moment. The buy and burn is at 1.3 trillion there. Oh, it's actually got a bit higher too. 1.3 trillion is there at the moment for the buy and burn on PulseX. 6.55% is bought up and burned, so slowly eating that supply. And the incentive token, $1.91, is down almost 6%, and that's at 54,500 on the pulse ratio to 1 in INC. There's 55 million in supply approximately, and we know that inflation's been cut 20x, so it's only 5% of what it used to be. So we won't see that inflation growing that fast anymore. Hex at the moment is just below 9/10 of a penny, down 10.6%, and EHEX there at 29/100 of a penny. Combined price EHEX at PX is 1.2 cents. And I'm expecting some big things for that in the future. Not today, of course, but in the future. Gas prices, 6.8 million beats. It's been very elevated, isn't it? Very high there on Pulse Chain with the beats signaling, as I say, an early sign of a more valuable chain on Pulse Chain. We're at 9 cents for a PulseX swap at the moment. And Gwei is 2 Gwei on Ethereum, and we're 17 times cheaper than Ethereum. So we've had, in the gas prices, we've had a big degree of convergence. So the law of convergence has definitely played out there, and that's a good sign for the future. Validators there, 47,663, and that's definitely, doing pretty well there, I would say, at the moment. Now, the bridge, let's go to the bridge. We're sitting at 102.9, so just under 103 million. So this is the lowest number I've seen for some time. So we're still over 100 million there, and of course that's being dragged down, obviously, by the Ethereum and by the Wrap Bitcoin and by the EHEX down as well. But the DAI looks pretty similar to what we've seen the last couple of days from memory. 26.7, pretty sure that's pretty similar to what we've been seeing recently. So not a lot of change there in the DAI. And the coast there is slowly creeping up. Have you guys noticed that? The coast is slowly creeping up. They're up to 8.8 million. That's pretty interesting there. I wish we had do we have a little chart on that? I'm not sure if we have a little chart, or maybe we do. Not sure if that has the little chart there. Does the market cap? Maybe the market cap does work. 7.67 million. Yeah, let's go to the daily there. It's slowly tinkering away there, isn't it? Not quite the information I was after, but that is tinkering away. So not bad. All right, so let's go into that. And as you guys know, we've got a number of native stablecoins on Pulse Chain, and some of those are pretty interesting. So we've got USDL, which is the liquid loans one. Currently saying there's 6.5 million in stablecoins, which is a little interesting because I'm pretty sure that's below the number on the actual official DApp. So I have to double check that one. We got 1 million in PXDC, which is backed by PulseX, and then we got HexDC, which is backed by Hex. So the 3 Richard Hart coins, and that's sitting just after half a million. So we add that together, that's $8 million. And then we got another 8.8 million in Coast, which definitely been creeping up, right? That Coast definitely been going up quite nicely. That's actually a very good, nice surprise there. So yeah, that's 8 and 8 is 16, almost $17 million. And as you guys know, PUSD ALGO is coming along the line there, and I'm a big proponent. That's going to be the first algorithmic stablecoin. Now, there are a stablecoin, there's USD, I think it's USDX or no, the other one, XUSD, which is speculative. So they're not a dollar, so they're not really stablecoins, right? So they're the speculative stablecoins, just like PDAI at the moment. Until they become pegged at a dollar or thereabouts, they're really not, not the first algorithmic stablecoin. So PUSD will be pegged at the beginning. So it'll have a little bit of volatility, the first couple of hours or so, maybe the day, but then it will pretty much be pegged at a dollar. So that's pretty much what we're expecting there, just like we saw on the testnet. So we're looking forward to that. But for that, we're going to need the Signum Oracle, which is it's ready, but it's just waiting for the timing to be right, and that's going to be launching soon. So I'm very excited about that. So big shout out to Stu and Neil there from Tetra as well. So big shout out to the team, and of course Randy Alaski's playing around there too. So looking forward to that. Some big things coming from the Signum Oracle. Looks very much like that will be the preeminent Oracle on Pulse Chain. Noting that Fetch Oracle launched 2 days ago. But there is Signum, could take Pulse Chain by storm there. Looking forward to it. So that is kind of where we are. Total volume on Pulse Chain, 40 million today. and 293,000 transactions. So we're just ticking away there as well. Looking at some of the better performers at the moment, we got these DAI token here. So I'm pretty sure these ones are from Pump Tires. Has it been a month already since Pump Tires? It must be pretty close to that. And we got that up at 350%. Now, obviously, we've covered Finvestor ecosystem. It's a whole ecosystem of different tokens. They're inspired by a Troper, and the dev for Troper is James Maria. Such a cool name, James Maria, the genius dev, as they say. And this has been doing very well. It's up 17% today. And of course, people are getting, if you're holding it, you're getting PLS rewards. So you're getting pulse rewards. And that chart is doing pretty damn well. I mean, look at that. And in the current climate we're in, so that's doing very well. It's very good indeed. Liquidity 192K and volume $1.6 million. Can't believe it. Must be getting a lot of pulse airdrops by holding that. Now, obviously, the capital value can move around a lot. So you just take that into account. And, you don't want to buy the top either. So that's the other side of things. So just be careful out there. Right, so that is going on there as well. We've got PLS Miami, that's up 1%. So we've got few little movers, but really it's this DAI coin, and of course remember there from the Finvestor ecosystem doing pretty well. Other than that, everything's kind of red. Some things more red than others, but some things are kind of holding up there. PDC is kind of holding up. Pump token from Pump Tires, the official token there for Pump Tires, I guess official inverted commas. And what else there? 9-inch kind of holding down 3%. Loan token down a little bit there too. Yeah, it's kind of hashtag bad. But that's pretty much it at the moment. So those not much else to say about that, is there? So we're going to get into Titanx next. But before that, we've got another comment here from Diamond Hand. Big shout out to you, Diamond Hand. They've got the eyes out looking around. Not too bad. All right, so let's bring up Titanx, because obviously Titanx is going to get hit hard with the ETH price relative to the ratio of Titanx to ETH. So it's probably going to hit a bit hard there. Let's go to a different view, shall we? And pull this up. All right, so I got the wrong view there. Let's go to this view. Got this view there. All right, so we got Titanx here. The volume at $750,000. Unfortunately, it's on the negative on the sell. Yesterday it was about 300,000, so negative three quarters. The user numbers is about 19,800, so not too much of a change there. Titanx, let's have a look at the ratio here. So we're down about 10% on Titanx to ETH. Let's see where the ratio is going there. We're definitely pushing now that ETH is sort of sliding from the support level down at $2,000. We are really pushing it now and entering new territory, aren't we? Let's go to log on this. So we're entering new territory here. Pretty much the last time we were back, we're all the way back in April 24 here as well, at the bottom of that first move down there. That's when we had a lot of inflation. And here we are down, pretty much down, almost down the bottom there. The all-time low by this count is 6 zeros 1425. We're currently at 6 zeros 1600, so we're just above that at the moment. But we have been to 1571 today, so that is really testing the all-time highs, all-time lows, all the way back from the 19th there. So even though we had that wonderful 10x wave one, wave two has been pretty brutal, and here we are readjusted there down the bottom there, waiting for wave three. Now we know that all the buy and burns have been turned off, have been for some time. And so it is highly collateral backed, probably up to 90% or so. So it's just a matter of waiting it out for the positive, return to positive sentiment. At the moment, you're just going to have to wait. But the fortunately thing, a lot of other protocols don't have all that collateral backing, but at least Titanx does. So that's your saving grace, and that is why one of the reasons why people got into it, let alone recycling miners for the short term game. The ETH ratio there is also doing a bit better, so it's a bit better than the price. So let's have a look at the ETH ratio. The lowest one here we had was back on 19th of April, similar time. We got down to 10 zeros 45.70, 10 zeros 45.70, and we're currently we dipped down today at 7,107. So we're still quite a bit above the all-time low for the ratio. So that's all the way down here at 4,900, let's say. We're at 70, almost just below 8,000. So, we're still up quite a bit, 70% on the ratio. So that's kind of good news. But we're going to have to be patient for that to go up for wave three. And of course, it's got the buy and burns turning those on, at least part of them on. And also the Omni-chain roadmap, which we know there's probably going to be 10 or more protocols going over to base chain as part of that Omni-chain move. And we'll probably get a couple more on Ethereum as well, is my guess there. DragonX is succumbing a little bit, so we're at ratio is 8 Titanx. We're down to 7.3 at the moment, down 17%. What else we got here? X28 is actually converging back towards parity, only a little bit. We were down at like 0.84. We're now at 0.91. So X28 is the omni-chain version of Titanx, and the ratio there is climbing back a little bit there. So it's kind of good news there for X28. Shogun is down 11%, but it's actually holding up not too bad. 5,600 is the ratio, X28, and that can move. It can jump around to like 6,000 and stuff, but that's where we are at the moment. That is going omni-chain as well, remember. Hyper and Hydra buy and burns are turned off. They are down quite a bit today, though. The ratio is down to DragonX, and DragonX is down a bit, right? So down to 7.27, and the ratio is to DragonX is down 0.08. So it wins on the upside. It gets the leverage, but it also loses on the downside. That's why it's 22.64%. So you got Titanx down, you've got DragonX down, and then you've got Hydra ratio down. So you got a bigger percentage down. That makes sense. All right, so that's kind of cool. Volt's holding up pretty well. As you guys know, I'm a very big fan of Volt. I think Volt's looking very strong relative in the ecosystem, and the roadmap's pretty strong, right? And I know Stevie D, the mad scientist, is just waiting for the right timing to roll out, Thunder staking, and of course, obviously working with Super Shadowy there on Ouroboros. And there'll be something in the future, no doubt. And then, of course, Bitcoin Genie, which I'm very excited about too. And he's just waiting for that to launch on the right environment, which is not now, right? So that's probably why it's not launching. Inferno is down 13% at 1.25 Titanx ratio. And, of course, we know that's going omni-chain. Yeah, we heard that from Crypto Utah the other day. What else there? Morpheus from DragonX is actually up 9%. So, Brandon, your hero, that's up. So, 0.31 DragonX. Morpheus is actually on the green today. So that's pretty cool. And of course, we're looking for more V3 dexes and other stuff like that from Brandon, potentially going over to base chain and pulse chain is our speculation there. So we shall see. What else is down? Baby Dragon X is going omni chain. That's down 13% at the moment. 2.4 Dragon X per one Baby Dragon X there. What else is interesting? Obviously, Matrix and Scale are down there. Tink Farm is at 3.2 cents, down 15%, sitting at 200,000 Titanx per one Tink. 200,000 Titanx per one Tink there at the moment is the ratio. That is going to benefit from Vibernex, which is launching mid-March, assuming that all goes well after being delayed about 3 weeks. Element 280 is going omni-chain. That's going to be the main peer. That's going to be paired up with 3 or 4 other pairings, including Baby Dragon X, including Element 369, and including Uranus there as well, and no doubt Helios up the top here as well. So I think they're all going over to base chain. That's going to increase the value of Uranus. And at the moment, Uranus holding up pretty well. 2.05 X28 to 1 Uranus tokens there. And we're talking about the planet. And that is only down 3.6% there. So that's doing really well. Now, what they're doing there, the buy and burn's pretty much turned off, and they're going to have a buy and burn party apparently. They've also got a lot of developments happening with the base influences. They're building up the profile of the Titanx ecosystem and Uranus there on base chain. So that's the right path forward. That is the right thing to do. So the team's doing pretty good there. So big shout out to the dude and James over there, and whoever else is involved in that project. Pretty cool. Finally, we've got USDX from Super Shady. Some shady. And that's been doing amazing. And I put a comment in there yesterday into the Telegram because this guy I think he's done a really, really nice launch. And it's very, very calculated. And so I think that's been pretty impressive, right? Very cool stuff happening there from Super Shadowy. Oh, I put the wrong password in there. So that's pretty good coming from him. So hats off to him. So we're going to go USDX Minter and have a look at the stats. This is obviously the big lending protocol inside the Titanx ecosystem, and it is an open system. In other words, it can take non-Titanx tokens and everything else. It has got the aggregate health has just dropped below 200, so we're at 196%. TVL is we were about 1.7 million yesterday, I think it was. So we're at about just under 1.5 million today. And we're still holding up with the Titanx is still sitting at 6.3 trillion, so no real change there. I think the DragonX is down just slightly from yesterday at 382 billion. but this is doing really well. So include the ORX Minter, which has got 4 trillion Titanex, and the buying bin, I think it is. Yeah, buying bin balance is 4 trillion Titanex. That's 10.3 trillion Titanex is sitting in Ouroboros, the big lending platform, and it's kind of like a liquidity fork, right? Kind of like that. So that is doing very well. Not bad. Now, in terms of the collateral at the moment, he's just been scaling it up. Obviously, he's reading the market sentiment as well, and he's been doing a very good rollout. So far, Titanex and DragonX are the collaterals. If you're going to open up a loan there. But if you're doing the staking, if you get USDX after collateralizing, the yield at the moment is about 370%. And obviously, that's moving around with the market pulling back at the moment. So that's kind of where we are with Ouroboros, doing pretty well. Moving forward, of course, some of the highlights, Bitcoin Genie, I'm looking forward to that. That is Frontier DeFi 3.0 tokenomics from a crazy scientist, mad scientist, Stevie D. We're looking forward to that. And of course, Taurus there coming from Cryptographics, looking forward to that. And then we're going to have YBMX probably mid-March coming out. That's going to benefit the Titanex ecosystem. So that's kind of a standard rundown there of where we are with these protocols. Not too bad. And we're 36 minutes on the hour. That's a pretty good show, actually. So just to highlight some of the stuff we talked about. Obviously, we got Bitcoin breaking down. Is that death cross coming, or we're going to avert that in the future? I wonder whether we're going to get anything coming out around crypto not being taxed or tax free in the United States. That would be an interesting bullish move. Not sure how that plays out versus whether Trump can just do an EO on that, or whether that has to go through Congress, or how that works. But that's definitely possible. And of course, we are very bullish about the long path we're here for crypto. But definitely Trump has shaked things up here, and we're just going to have to ride through the volatility that has ensued. And of course, the market makers making the most of it, right? Making the most of it all they can. But in case we have the catalysts, we have the target. Gold market cap is on its back. And that would get us to $900,000 Bitcoin. And of course, presumably we'll overshoot, get to $1 million. And then, of course, we have multiple mechanisms happening right now as we speak. Despite what's happening in the market short term, we have all the states in America rallying, trying to get bills through so they can spend part of their portfolio on accumulating Bitcoin, following the strategic Bitcoin reserve that Trump announced. And of course, we've also got public and private companies starting to treat gold as part of their risk management. Sorry, treat the Bitcoin as part of their risk management portfolio, including gold and other assets like that. And we've also got obviously directed ROIs or 401ks out there. And it's just all starting to grow, right? We've got all the players jumping on the field, and it's still early in the game. And of course, if the US goes, then the rest of the world's going to go, right? They don't want to miss the boat. And so we're going to get more and more countries getting into crypto. So yeah, I think sovereign states at the moment, if I remember rightly, own about 500,000 or so, maybe 550,000 Bitcoin. Going to see that increase. So where they're going to buy the Bitcoin from? Well, they're going to buy it from people that have been around for a while, right? So retail book, big investor, private investors, stuff that people that have got a lot of Bitcoin, right? So that's, I guess, where they're going to buy it from. But some of them may not want to give it up, right? Because they know the long term game is on now. The short term game can be pretty aggressive, like we are seeing now. Have a bit of a sell off before we get that big rally to a new high. But yeah, other than that, it's looking pretty cool. My little Superman little thing's gone off crazy. Look at that, it's gone all crazy today. All right, so that is where we are. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, hit the bell. And if you haven't joined our Discord, the link's in the video description. Become a community member today. We've got a really great environment in there, and we're only going to make it better moving forward. You can have a great community to share the bull market with, and of course, ride through the ups and downs of the market as we get there. And of course, those links are in the video description. So join up today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next show. Take care, and bye for now. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to enjoy the Monday. It's sunny outside.